So it seems like I've not been here for ages, and we've got the start of really autumn now. It is lightly raining and I'm inappropriately attired for what I'm about to do. So I've come to take a bike out, which is also, well, actually it's past its autumn, it's into its winter of its existence, but a bike I've never ridden before and I'm quite looking forward to it. Let me show you what we're on. We have a 74 plate Bmw R1250 RS. This has only just been registered, it's only got 100 miles on it. And let's see what it's like. See what's out there. Now obviously everything is as you'd expect for a 1250. This is an SE model, so I think it's got everything really apart from heated seat, which I could do with right now. The stand is very, very, very far forward. Ugh. My record of sitting at this light is 7 minutes. And I have to say, at 50 miles an hour, I'm getting a lot of wind. Oh, it has got seat heating. Nice. I'll take a bit of that. What I can feel is its length. That's what she said. This feels like a very long bike. I really thought jumping on this, I would go, this is amazing. I can't wait for the 1300 version to come out. I'm going to love it. But I don't. I mean, the performance is as you'd expect. The gearbox, the clutch, everything is as you'd expect. It's a 1250 BMW Boxer twin. And the 1300 will be everything you expect. But in terms of the ergonomics and the wind noise and the comfort, it is a thumbs down from me. So a few weeks ago I was parked filming a couple of reviews just around that corner under these trees to get out the sun. But today it's to get out the rain and have a walk around the Bmw R1250 RS. And what to say about this bike. I'm trying to ignore the fact that I've just ridden it. And I'll come on to why. But outwardly, it's a handsome bike. It's showing its age, definitely now. It's funny how, particularly BMWs and their cars, for example, is that everything looks modern until the new one comes out, and then all of a sudden it looks dated. It is very nice from the front. It's quite aggressive looking. Let's have a look at the running lights. That's quite a nice look. All in all, it's a fairly good package. Obviously the engine's good, the brakes are good, the gearbox is good. It sounds okay, it goes okay. It does feel very long when you're on it. And I don't like it. I thought I'd love it. I thought I'd love it so much that I thought I can't wait until the R1300 RS comes out. That's going to be amazing. I'll get rid of my GS and we'll fall in love and we'll ride off into the sunset. But if the R1300 RS is anything like this to ride, in terms of ergonomics, I'll give it a miss. Which is, I'm quite sad about. That screen doesn't, I don't know what that screen does, because I just felt like an aeroplane was taking off from the noise. This is a bit clangy and I'm not a big fan of that. But it's not a bad bike. The thing is, I keep saying this, that there's so many motorcycles where the platform is used in multiple models, and the Boxer engine, for my mind, is best suited in a GS. And this bike would benefit from GS front forks, the telelever suspension. Maybe that would soften it out. I'm not a big fan of the white, but that's not the end of the thing. The sport, the red, white and blue colours are very, very, very nice in this. And I'm sure people that have got this love it. I'm not the biggest human in the world, so I felt like I was lying on the tank. And it's really interesting that when I was riding it, I was thinking about what I was going to say, and I just go, I just want to take it back. I'll see if I can show the riding position from the side, but yeah, I'm not a fan. The stand also is miles forward, which is very, very weird. If you're looking down here, I mean, it doesn't look terrible there, but it's not that far out normally. What was interesting, and I hadn't seen this before, I think I showed on the ride, is the heating controls. Oh, I need fuel. Let's go back again. Yeah, grip heating and seat heating done this with 5 heat settings. Not sure if we need 5, but that makes a nice change from the 1250 GS where we only had 2 heat settings. The screen does not appear to be adjustable. No, it's fixed. Let's turn it off. Yeah, so there we go. I'm not a fan, and I'm sad about it. So often I've stood in front of bikes and gone, I'm like speechless because it was so good. And this one I'm speechless because there's nothing, it's fine. But if you want a 1250 RS, go and buy a GS. You'll be happier. And with that, let's look at the seat height and see if I can show you the reach of the bike. Right. It's not terrible, but it is sort of GS height, if I'm honest. Yeah, it's fine. Seat feels very wide though, I will say that. Anyway, let's see if I can show you the side profile. Right, side profile. I mean, it looks fine, but it really isn't. Maybe with a different suspension setup, taking some of the bangs and bumps out your wrist, it would be better. But if you want a fully fared bike from BMW, buy a K1600. If you want a boxer engine, buy a GS. I mean, what do you think? Tell me in the comments. Do you have one? Do you love it? Are you tall? Okay? Yes, thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. No problem. Nice lady asking me if I was okay. Oh, there's another car. Another lady asking me if I was okay. I don't get what this bike's for. In the same way that I don't get what the RT was for when the GS exists. If the GS didn't exist, these bikes make sense. But it does exist, therefore it does not make sense. Interested to see how it scores. I think it's going to score quite low. I think it's going to score in the 60s. Which I feel doesn't reflect the quality of everything else. Anyway, let's take it back and sum up. Let's get this bike back to the dealership. Get on my GS, which after riding this will be a delight, even more than normal. fucking stand. Right, I've got 12 miles to go, 29 miles of fuel. Here we go. I'm not really saying much about this bike, because honestly speaking, I'm so indifferent about it. If I could just teleport myself back to the dealership and go, there you go, thank you very much. So, back from the ride on the R1250 RS, and it's made me so sad I don't even want a 310 a pop. Hard times. But in all seriousness, componently it's a good bike. I still don't think it makes sense. Whilst the RS is the bike that every GS owner needs, because we're not going off-road, the suspension isn't right and the seating position isn't right. And if everything else is the same as the GS, then just get a GS and accept you've got an adventure bike, you're not going off-road. And if you want a fed bike, there's other bikes in this dealership and all the Motorrad dealerships that do that job better. It's strange. I've not ridden one, as I said before, and I always wanted to. And I was really looking forward to the 1300 iteration coming out. But now I'm not asked. But with that, if you could hit subscribe, that'd be awesome. Cheers. So, let's jump into the Ross Rides review score for the Bmw R1250 RS, the 2024 last hurrah. And for styling, I give it a 6. It's still a handsome bike, but it is starting to show age, but it's by no means bad looking. Acceleration, it's early 3s, so that gets a 7. Handling is fine. It does feel very long. The flexibility in the chassis is noticeable for me. Torque at 105 Newton meters, again, it's perfectly fine. And cool, it gets a 6. It's of its day, and that day is slowly passing it by, which gives it a total weekend score of 30. For daily features, I give it a 5. It's got everything you'd expect of a bike at this price point, but nothing particularly cutting edge. Comfort for me is a 4. This is where it loses on my scoring. I'm sure if you're a different shape, you might find it a bit more comfortable, but this bike was not for me. Miles to the gallon is the mid-50s, so 6 is good. Practicality is a 7. Obviously, you can get panniers and top boxes and all manner of storage options for that bike. Makes it very practical. And cost, it gets a 3 because it is just over £17,000, which gives it a total daily score of 25 and an overall Ross Ride score of 55. I thought it was going to do better than that, if I'm honest. I thought it'd be in the 60s, but there we have it, a almost perfectly average motorbike. Cheers.